Hello all and welcome to my new Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube channel, Edgar YGO. I've been having a lot of success with Drytrons on the ladder. Actually, 20-0, these are all games that I played in Plat 1. And I wanted to share some of that success and share, firstly show my deck profile, and I plan on releasing a combo video along with some replays later on if this video does decently. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll hop right into the deck list. I'm not going to bother explaining the standard ratio. So like 2 EVA, this is self-explanatory. 3 Alpha. There is some debate on whether you run 2 Gamma or 1 Gamma. I think 2 Gamma is better because opening Gamma in your hand actually is pretty good. Alpha Gamma is full combo. And if they banish your Gamma, it can reduce a lot of like the power that your deck can put on one turn. So running 2 is pretty nice. It's not even a brick. 3 Zeta, this is obvious. 1 Delta, this is pretty obvious. 3 Herald of Orange Light, it's standard again. 3 Maxi, I think most decks are running 3 Maxi, but I will briefly explain it. Maxi is the best hand trap in the format, best card in the format. There's a reason it's banned the TCG. It's insanely good if it resolves and you're going second. You basically lock your opponent out of play in the game turn 1. So I think running 3 of this card is pretty self-explanatory. 3 Diviner, obvious. 2 Ash Blossom. I've gone from playing 1, 2, 3, 0 of this card. I settled on 2. You really don't want to draw on multiples. It's not good enough to merit running 3. Notably, it does stop Maxi on your turn 1, which is nice. It does. It is an all-around good hand trap. It's very good against Tri Brigade. It's good against VW. So for that reason, we do still play 2, just because it actually isn't a dead card going first. Then we play the 1 Natasha. I think most builds have actually switched to playing at least 1 of this card, or I should say 1 of this card. And if you still don't understand why, if you don't run this card, it's really hard to break boards going second. This basically is it can revive itself and you can take control of a monster. I will say though, a big mistake that lots of new players make, you need to ritual summon this card first in order to special summon it through other means. It's a ritual monster. It's just like a rule of Yu-Gi-Oh! You can't special summon ritual monsters without first summoning them the way they're intended to be summoned. 3 Benton, I think this is pretty obvious. We play 1 Ultimateness. And we actually, so I've gone back and forth between playing the, I think it's like the Draconids card. Yeah, this card. I've gone back and forth playing this card. I think it can be good in certain situations when you're trying to kill your opponent. But overall, it's pretty bricky to draw. And I think this deck has enough going second power between Natasha and Boral Sword, which I'll showcase some replays of that later on. So I decided to cut this card just because it does add a bit of inconsistency to the deck. You never really want to draw this card. 1 Foolish, this is literally an insane card. It's any Drytron name in your deck. It's Eva. In certain situations, it can be like a Ben 10 or an Ultimatus. This card's insane. 3 Cyber Emergency, any Drytron name, self-explanatory. 3 Drytron Nova, again, any Drytron name. So I've gone back and forth between running 2 ritual spells. I think the reason why I run 2 is because drawing 1 isn't that bad. If you draw both of them, it's unfortunate, but 2 allows you to full combo with Alpha Benton. Playing 1, you can still go Alpha Benton and make a good board, but playing 2 allows you to get an extra Benton search, which gives you more negates, which I think is really good. And like I said, this card isn't too bad to draw in your opening hand as long as you have some Drytron names as well. So now on to 2. We play 2 Call by the Grave. This is self-explanatory. In a hand trap heavy meta, this card's good when you draw it going first. It's good when you draw it going second. I mean, this card is just absolutely insane. 2 for and Droplet. I've gone back and forth between playing 2 and 3 of this card. This card is kind of a must if you go second to like Drytron or VW, or even like Tri-Brigade, and you don't draw Maxi and Ash, and they make their sort of turn 1 unbreakable board. Not drawing this card or not even playing this card as like an out does feel bad. Fortunately, I think playing 3 of it makes the deck a little bit too inconsistent. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's a really good going second card. It's not good. It's not like Ash Blossom where it's good going first or call by or anything like that. But it is necessary to break some boards. So, in a best of 1 format, you unfortunately do need to play this card in your main deck. So on to the extra. 1 Intis, 2 Herald of Arclight, self-explanatory. I play the FA Dawn Dragster. This card's really easy to make. It's just a simple Diviner, send one of these, plus a Drytron. This card does help you to play around Max C. If they Max C you after you've resolved Diviner, and they Max you on like a Drytron effect, you can just go into Dragster and pass. And then depending on what your hand is, another good play is like making like Union Carrier and then just summoning Ultimateness if you already have it in your hand. So like it does offer a way to play around certain hand traps, as well as the negate on it is pretty relevant. You can negate the activation of a spell / trap card or effect. So that's pretty good. It does come up quite often for me. And I play the Zeus package, so Lyrilusk into Downard into Zeus. Pretty self-explanatory. I only play 1 copy of Mu Beta. I think the second copy almost never comes up. You really are only making this card when you go first. Sometimes it is nice to have a second copy if they are able to break your board. But really, it never comes up. Like if you have Gamma and Grave, you have plenty of fuel without needing a second copy of this card. You pretty much should have almost all your Drytron names in your grave after full comboing turn 1, except for maybe Delta. So the second copy of this card almost never comes up. Link Karibo is an absolute must in this deck. Think of hands where you draw Drytron Nova plus Zeta in hand. It's not full combo if you don't have this card, actually, because what's going to happen is you're going to have to special out Alpha, and you'll have to attribute Alpha for Zeta first, which is not full combo. You actually need this card. You need a way to get Alpha and Grave so you can use Alpha effect first to search Benton. So this card's an absolute must. Masquerena. This card is just part of like your standard turn 1 board. You normally will end with like a Beatrice, a Masquerena, an Ultimateness, and a Mu Beta. Or maybe like minus Mu Beta, depending on how good your hand was. And the whole goal of this card is it allows you to link summon during your opponent's turn, which 99.9% of the time you'll just go into Nightmare Unicorn, which is a good interrupt, discard a card, target something, and shuffle back into the deck. Pretty good. Union Carrier has a lot of utility. You basically just use this card to like get extra Herald negates. So like you just use this card, you make it, you equip Eva from deck, and you use it for a ritual summon, and then Eva search 2 fairies out. It's pretty good. It makes hands like, think of if you draw like Zeta Diviner. The hand's normally not very good, but you can actually go like Diviner, search Benton, and then combo like Zeta Benton, search Ritual Spell plus Ultimateness, make Union Carrier, and then summon Ultimateness, and you actually end up with like 2 negates, which is like better than you would normally have. So I think this card's like pretty necessary. A good thing to know is like don't try and make plays, like don't try and equip like a Drytron name from your deck to this card. It does have the condition that if you equip it from the deck, you cannot special summon monsters with that equipped card's name for the rest of this turn. So like, don't try and like use this card to like access an additional Drytron in, because that will not work. You will not be able to special summon that Drytron that turn. And then Boral Sword. This card is insane going second. This card does so much damage. You basically, the play is like you make Boral Sword, you attack with a monster, change your monster to a defense position, and this card can attack twice. This card also gains attack equal to half of the monster's attack it's attacking, and then it will gain that much. Or it'll also reduce that much for the monster that it's attacking. This card is a must. It's like an out to certain things, like think Ignister 6k beater boss monster that can't be destroyed by card effects. You can use Boral Sword to out that. It's like I said, it's good OTK going second. And then I run the 1 access code talker. I think this card's really good. I mean, it's good, especially when you need to bait out back row, because this card will almost always have to draw like a judgment or a warning, because you can't respond to its effect activation. So this card's a really good back row baiter. And it's another one of those cards that's good at breaking boards and will come up every now and then. And yeah, overall, like I said, this deck is really consistent. I've been having a lot of success. Excuse me. I've been having a lot of success, and yeah, like I said, 20 wins in a row in Plat 1, so it's really consistent. Like, you know, going second, going first. You have a lot of tools in your kit, and yeah, I'm glad I get to share it with you guys. Let me know how I did in my first video. Leave a comment and subscribe if you like the content, and look out for a deck profile as well as a combo video in the future. See you guys.